Hey, I'm Chris. This is Haley. This is AFA Addy Family Adventures. And we are here. Where are we, Haley?
Fort Recovery, Ohio.
Fort Recovery, Ohio, to see the Fort Recovery Museum. So we're going to go out here and we're going to take a look real quick. All right. Native Americans inhabited and used much of the land in Ohio Valley as hunting grounds as American settlers pushed west. Conflict resulted and attempts at peaceful settlements failed. Under political pressure, President George Washington resolved to subdue Indian resistance to American expansion. To lead the expedition, St. Clair's troops camped on the Wabash River just east of the Ohio and Indiana state line. After an exhausting 2-month trek, the ill-prepared soldiers were no match for the force of Miami, Shawnee, and Delaware Indians who attacked them at dawn of November 4th, 1791. By the day's end, warriors led by Little Turtle and Blue Jacket had killed or wounded nearly 3/4 of the American force, the worst ever defeat of the U.S. Army by Native Americans in a single battle. The first place we're going to go into is called the Pioneer Log House. Oh, wow. What are these called? Oh, spinning wheels. I can't remember what those are called half the time. And that's a spinning wheel too, isn't it? It's a big one. Wow.
Isn't that what Aurora put
Yeah.
her finger on?
Yep, that's what Aurora poked her finger on. The spinning wheel needle. And then look at this bed. If you can see,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's ropes holding up.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where the saying sleep tight came from.
did not know
Because
that.
you tighten the ropes for,
I did not know
yeah.
that.
Look at that. Wow. They got baby beds. Oh. I don't know what that is. What is that? It's a barrel? I can't read it. Butter churn. Wow, that's a different way. You usually see the butter churn where they take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be the period of the dress, how people would dress. And then rocking chairs. There's the fireplace. To build a log cabin and the right trees need to be chosen, all of a similar size. This place looks amazing. I like how this looks, and just to show you where we came in at. So, all right, so there's a walkway, and it looks like it leads to different places. And the fort is just right there. I don't believe all the fort is there anymore. I think just parts of it are. But as you can see, they've made it into a park, and there's a walkway actually here that says, so this stuff, a lot of the signs talk about the people who've dedicated to this and everything, but up here we have a blacksmith shop and tool shed. So we're gonna go up here and go into the blacksmith shop and tool shed. What's it say? This log cabin is dedicated in the memory of American pioneer life with gratitude to the Lewis Lenartz and Robert Kurgan families for generous contributions and the Civilian Conservation Corps of Reconstruction. So yeah, it's a blacksmith shop. They got all the blacksmith tools over here. Oh, they got an old plow back there in the back.
That's a good giant spoon.
And then they got like the stuff you would put on the horses to pull the plows.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they got more blacksmith tools down here. I know with the lighting it's kind of hard because
But it
there's
says
glare.
for repair viewing flip on light switch?
One light's on.
I don't know if there's any more. Is it blocked off because of COVID?
I don't know. I doubt that. So, I don't know, but what do you think that is there? It'd be nice if they had signs in here to tell you what they were.
Like the other one did.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
There you
Okay,
go.
it was already on.
Yeah. So, I wish I had like old horseshoes and stuff like that where we could look at in here. So, all right, let's go on out. So it looks like over here, just outside of the blacksmith shop and tool shed, that they have like a place where they do maybe like shows during festivals and stuff like that.
Isn't this where they do? No, it's not. Never mind.
No? It'd be a neat place to do like graduation.
Yeah.
So, but we're just gonna walk on down the trail and see what else we can find. Here we go. The Greenville Treaty established a boundary line between Indian and federal lines. This line was crossed in 1836 when the plot for the town recovery was laid out. David Birdsley laid out the land north, William McDaniels and David Larkin the land south of the line because they refused to communicate. The north and south streets to this day do not run through. The village of Recovery was incorporated in 1858. We're not going to be able to go to the second one. We're here on June 30th and July 1st, 1794. 200 well-trained soldiers under the command of Captain Alexander Gibson successfully defended this fort against the frontal, relentless attack of 2,500 Indians led by Little Turtle, Blue Jacket, and obviously Redcoats. The battle broke the back of the Indian resistance and led the way to the signing of the Treaty of Greenville on August 3rd, 1795. On Christmas Day, 1793, General Anthony Wayne detached soldiers from Greenville to construct a fort at the site of the 1791 battle. Within 5 days, a work large enough to house 250 men and capable of defending against musket fire was completed. 4 blockhouses connected by pickets. Wanting to regain the Army foothold and reputation, Wayne considered calling the new post Defiance or Restitution, but decided on Fort Recovery.
They spelled Greenville wrong on that one.
Did
back
they?
there. Yeah.
So General Anthony Wayne was actually known as Mad Anthony Wayne, and he's pretty well known through this part of Ohio and Indiana, all the way up to Fort Wayne from Greenville. So this would show the old Wabash River. So they have like time dates on this. And it says, on my way to the center of the camp, I met pale, frightened men running in all directions. Numerous dead bodies proved that many of the Indians had been there before. So it was a great big battle. Alright. On this triangle of land between the rivers, Indian forces under Chief Little Turtle, Miami, and Blue Jacket Shawnee surrounded and attacked George Arthur St. Clair's troops on November 4th, 1791. Of his 1,300 soldiers, well over half were killed or wounded. It was the worst defeat inflicted upon the U.S. Army. This battle had worldwide repercussions and led to the first congressional investigation in the nation's history. So it's a really nice park. Yeah, I mean they actually got a little league game going on over here. So Looks like the walkway goes all the way around. Doesn't it?
It looks like it takes you up to the baseball.
But does it come back around? Looks like it comes back around. I don't know. About 14,000 years ago, the last glacier receded from this area. Mastodons, mammoths, and giant beavers roamed the regions. The ancestors of American Indians arrived in Ohio during this time. These Paleo-Indians were hunters and gatherers. By 800 BC, the indigenous people had become farmers and were using pottery with the arrival of European and Eastern North America. Native cultures were devastated by disease and warfare. The depression in the land before you is the bed of the original Wabash River. In the early 1900s, it was rerouted to its present course just west of here. It was one of the main highways of Indian travel through the region. To the left, a small creek flowed into the Wabash, creating a triangle of land. When St. Clair arrived there in 1791, the main body of the army camped on this triangle while the Kentucky militia camped on high ground across the river. Yeah, it looks like it just goes on up into the ball.
Yeah.
We might have to turn around unless there's other stuff on that side. So we're just trying to figure out where this takes you. Here it says, the American Indian tribes living in this region at the time of the Indian Wars were not originally from the area. The Delaware had been pushing westward into the region by the expansion of European settlement in the eastern United States. The Ottawa, the Potawatomi, and the Wyandot moved southward into Ohio. The Miami entered from the west, and the Shawnee moved in from the south. Whether new to this land or not, they would fight to defend it. Okay. Alright, so this is the battlefield. It's bigger than you think. Since 2010, the Applied Anthropology Laboratory in the Department of Anthropology at Ball State University has conducted archaeology researches on this battlefield with funding from the National Park Service. So I'm going to say whatever is inside St. Clair's retreat is the green line, or no, the yellow line. The green line is the expanded battlefield boundaries, so the green line. The blue line is the original routes, or original route of Wabash River, St. Clair's, Kentucky. Yep, and then St. Clair's main encampment outpost.
They're just everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the pink is the calculated least visible path.
Okay. American Indians calculated least visible path. Okay. The path ended down here. Wow. At the baseball field. So I think Haley and I were just going to walk on up here to the fort and see what they have to show. So far, I mean, all we've seen is a trail. We've seen a black chest, the blacksmith shop. We've seen, what else? The little log cabin up there. So we're walking up to the fort right now. So, I mean, it's a nice little park out here. And it's windy again. So I don't know when it is in the summer the wind finally dies down, but it's still early in the year. So, but we're gonna walk up here. I don't know how much we're gonna be able to see, but it's just something really neat to come and see. And they talked about the Treaty of Greenville, and the Treaty of Greenville, where it's signed, is not very far from here. It's just south of here in Greenville, and we visit Greenville a lot, and I know where the area is. It's actually in the Greenville Park. And what's funny is they have stuff up that looks like a small fort, but they're nowhere near what these look like. These, I guess, cupolas or the parts of the fort. But we're getting ready to walk up a big hill, which, yes, I knew. I was about to say, I doubt if Haley wants to do this, but I'm gonna turn you around so you can see where we're going. So yeah, it was a big hill. This, oh, what is it? The
South Blockhouse.
South Blockhouse. So there's not much. It doesn't look like of the fort left. But we're gonna go into it. Oh, it's just, I don't know, can we go up? Looks like we can, doesn't it? Alright, so we got stuff in here to read. It's just kind of hard to read. Yeah.
So small and dark.
So it says, Anthony Wayne campaign. When the new army was trained to his satisfaction, Wayne moved the troops to Greenville for winter camp. Fort Recovery was built on the site of St. Clair's defeat the last week in 1793 as the first of the Army's supply depot, while men and equipment massed at Greenville. In June 1794, 2,000 Indians under Little Turtle attacked Fort Recovery but failed in their efforts to capture the post. On July 28th, the Legion marched north, building Fort Adams and Fort Defiance. By August 20th, the Army reached the fallen timbers, an area of tornado-felled trees, in less than 90 minutes of hard fighting. The Indians were completely defeated. Wayne returned to Fort Defiance, then constructed Fort Wayne near the site of Harmar's defeat. The Army returned to Greenville November 3rd, 1794, ending the campaign. After returning to Greenville, Wayne waited for the Indians to seek the peace treaty. Preliminary meetings were successful, and by July 1795, all the Indian representatives were presented. Negotiators were completely, what's that say, Haley?
Where?
Negotiators were completed, and the Treaty of Greenville signed on August 3rd, 1795. The treaty called for peace and return of all prisoners. A boundary line extended from Lake Erie to the Ohio River, and all land south of the line were surrendered to the United States. In addition, 16 areas within the Indian land were reserved by the government. The Greenville Treaty ended the British-Indian alliance and ensured American control of the Northwest. So they have a lot of information on here. This says the stake marked the turning point of the Greenville Treaty line at Fort Recovery. Indian signatures on the Treaty of Greenville. The pipe was used at the ceremony. So these were the Indian signatures. Wow. So this was Harmon's campaign. Indian raids. Settlers forced the government to send troops to attack Indian villagers on the Maumee River. General Josiah Harmar commanded the poorly trained troops and militia. In October 1790, the armies reached the village, which were deserted and burned them. Part of the troops followed the Indians and were ambushed, while another group returned to the village to attack Indian inspecting the ruins. This force was divided and defeated, and the entire way retreated in failure. Encouraged by their success, Indians attacked whites with new vigor. In January 1791, a fortified house at Big Bottom, 30 miles from Marietta, was attacked. 12 whites were killed and 5 captured. The Big Bottom massacre and similar raids made it necessary to form another army. President Washington appointed Governor St. Clair commander. So we have one that talks about the fur trades, French interest, and of course St. Clair's campaign, which we know ended in defeat. Training and discipline for Fort Recovery. Organization of the Army. And supply systems. So we're going to go upstairs. More cardio, Haley says.
It's not the problem going up, it's the problem going down.
Wow. So there's nothing really in here to read, but I think it's just like, would this be, I don't know if it, what these are.
Well, they're not beds.
No, they're not beds. I just think just stations, maybe for ammo.
Maybe.
We'll look outside. So if the troops were looking out, this is what one of the places they would see. But I don't know if this would be inside the fort or outside the fort, because of course the fort is not the same. But you can see the building we walked by earlier. And then over here actually looks into the town of Fort Recovery. So, but it's really neat. So the ones that are like this in Greenville, they're smaller. You are not allowed to go into. They're just part of the park. I don't know if they're actually, how would you say it? If they're real or if they were reconstructed.
Were these reconstructed?
I think they weren't reconstructed. I think they might have been, how do you want to say it? Restored, I would say. Alright, so we're back out into the yard. Haley's on her way down. It's taken her a while to get down the steps. There she is. So this looks like it might have been an old well, would you say?
Yeah.
But it's been covered up. And maybe it was how the troops got their water.
Well.
Or not. See, that's the north blockhouse. I don't think you can get in there.
It might be locked.
Yeah. But it probably looks exactly like the other
Probably.
side. But this is the Greenville Treaty. It says, at this spot was found the original surveyor stake which marked the western terminus of the, it's kind of hard to read because it's all in the same color. Terminus of that part of the Greenville Treaty line, running from near Fort Lauren in the eastern part of the state to Fort Recovery. From this point, the line ran southwesterly to a point on the Ohio River opposite the mouth of the Kentucky River. By the terms of the treaty signed on August 3rd, 1795, the Indian tribes gave up their claim to the lands south and east of this line. When found in 1934, Ludlow's black walnut stake was 42 inches underground. It is now on exhibit at the Fort Recovery Museum, which that's what we were supposed to go to. But
Fort Recovery.
so here, is this one of the stakes, or is this just where?
200th anniversary of Survey of Greenville. This monument dedicated August
Okay. So it's just where the surveyor stake was found, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Isn't this where they do the reenactment?
No, that's not here.
Oh, never mind, I know it is.
So we're actually in the museum now, and they have a place for kids to dress up. They can dress up either as, looks like,
Indian?
yeah, or soldier, or pioneer. Alright, so this here is Blue Jacket. He was the Shawnee chief, Shawnee war chief. And this is Major General Anthony Wayne, or as most people know him, Mad Anthony Wayne. This looks like it's the battle that took place here. I'm going to say that there is Mad Anthony Wayne. Alright, this here is Chief Little Turtle, Miami War Chief. And then we have Major General Arthur St. Clair himself. And then we have how do you say that, Haley?
Buckingahelas.
Buckingahelas.
That's how I'd say it.
He's the Delaware War Chief. And of course they've got, looks like, avoid the fireplaces, and they've got a gun rack above on the mantle. This is the only mounted dragoon exhibit in the United States. Oh wow. So this is what the dragoons would wear. They got a little cannon down here.
Not gonna do much damage.
I bet it'd do enough. Creative. Oh wow. Then I got a picture of the Battle of Fort Recovery. And then they got some more artifacts up here. They have, powder horn. What else? Port hanger. Down below they have bayonets. Medals awarded to Anthony Wayne for his victory at the Stony Point during the Revolutionary War. Buttons. Equipment buckles. Let's see, lead bars, brown wine glass, brass buttons, small lead balls in the case. They've got axe heads, bone comb, belt axe, spiked tomahawk, and more tomahawks. Pewter spoon, beads, and a buffalo vertebrae with arrow point. Oh wow.
What?
Down here they have artillery shells that's been found here. 67 horse pistol and bucket. Yeah, it looks like parts from rifles. Trigger guards, barrel bands, rear barrel, dog musket lock, musket cock, Charlesville musket lock, and gun butts. Down here they have stake markings, the turning point of the Greenville Treaty, which we already read about outside. The original sucker rod from the well at Fort Recovery. Oh wow. And then they have a lot of information of everybody that had to do with this, which I don't think I'm going to read because this would take me forever to read about every single one of these. So we're going to move on. So we started in the basement. So What is this here, Haley? Please do not touch. Part of the original flagpole from Fort Recovery. This portion of the flagpole base was located in 1836 when a well was dug on the Fort Ellie. Wow. Old newspaper clipping from 1938.
Oh, that's where that door led to.
Oh, yeah. What? Whatever. So it just looks like different stuff to look at from. This looks a map of early Fort Recovery. The United States of America, what they had at the time during this. Fort Lawrence. 1791 to 1891 Fort Recovery, Ohio Centennial. So I would say, I'm trying to look to see what part of the fort we were in when we were over there. Would you say it was between these two? Or maybe between these two?
I think it was between these two.
Okay. And then I don't know who signed this, but they're just different newspaper clippings and stuff like that. Tecumseh. Picture of Tecumseh. Tecumseh, I believe he was upset with the Treaty of Greenville. It says, was the Shawnee War Chief Blue Jacket a Caucasian? Oh, wow. Carolyn Rowland, Robert Van Trees, Mark Taylor, and Dan Crane, forensic bioinformatic Dayton, Ohio historian, Fort Recovery, Ohio. So they believe that Blue Jacket was actually a Caucasian. It says Chief Blue Jacket with a wife met us. Blue Jacket family. So, wow. That's pretty neat. We're going to head on upstairs to the next level. They got different pictures. Fort Recovery Band from 1895. Fort Recovery. So that's what it looked like when it was all still there. And I think this is in the middle of the city, if I'm right.
Maybe it was these two then.
It might have been.
I don't know.
Just newspaper clippings. Photos. Here we go, prehistoric experience. So this is a guy showing how to make a arrowhead out of probably shale or some kind of tool. They actually have a monolith axe, a double crescent, and a lizard effigy. So this would be stuff they found that are prehistoric. There's Paleo-Indian. So some arrowheads. I don't know what that would be unless it's like a club head, would you say, Haley, maybe?
I don't know.
And then later on, more arrowheads, and it's starting to look like they're getting the tools to look a certain way. They got axe heads and arrowheads here. So I bet anything, a lot of this stuff was actually found here on this land. But in the background, they're showing a timeline and then what was also going on in the world. So like the birth of Buddha and the beginning of the pyramid constructions, all this was going on here. So The Easter Island statues. They just have all kinds of stuff. Arrowheads. So this must be from mammoth or mastodon. Mastodon bones and teeth from Mercer County. Mastodon tusk fragments. This is a mastodon bone and teeth from Mercer County. Here we have a bunch of axe heads. So, late Archaic period.
Huge.
Oh yeah. Grooved axes. Pitted stone, mono, roller pestles. This is late Archaic period. Ooh, kelp. Then we move on over. Oh, I forgot. They also have arrowheads up on the wall. So they found like lots of stuff from this place. Ovate blades, Robin's phase point, killed gorget, Jack's reef pentagons. These are sandal sole. Look at, so this is their sandals.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's the shell beads.
Oh yeah.
We'll still wear those.
Hunchback gorget, a winged banner stone, and they have even more arrowheads, all prehistoric periods. I think that's part of a peace pipe, if I'm right, or a pipe at least. I don't know if it's a peace pipe or not, but it looks like it's part of a pipe. And then over here, it looks like they have what they would live in. And the teepee, half shelter, like the log cabin, and like a wigwam. Yeah, got a fur hanging up. We got Indian soldiers. What they would look like. Tomahawk head, an axe head, and I believe that's a pipe, isn't it?
That's the kind of phones they used.
No, they did not use phones, Haley. So they have, this is the aftermath. Little Turtle, the British Commandant in Detroit considered Little Turtle the most decent, modest, sensible Indian I've ever met. The Miami chief at first remained determined to fight the Americans after the Fort Recovery battle. With a better understanding of the importance of artillery, Little Turtle demanded a pair of cannons and a crew from the British to renew the attack on Wayne and his forts. These were, however, denied. artillery shells, French musket flints, Charlesville musket lock, musket butt plate, dragoon stirrup, buckshot, a musket ball, and artillery shots. Over here they have like a small model of the fort. And then they have a soldier who's looking out, which would be like in the fort. And here they have a musket, parts of a musket. It's just missing the wood parts, so it looks like. Let's see. Brass crest from the dragoon. Bone sprue. They got forged spikes and nails, window glass and trunk handle and hinge. Shoe cleats for walking on ice. I think they put that one in there upside down. They have a fork, a tin plate rim.
This whole thing is upside down.
It is. Bone handle, spoon, bowl fragments. They have cup fragments, ceramic spout fragment, and a frying pan handle. And then on down here, I can't read it because of fragments of bottles, wine glass, and fragments. Here we go, we got some stuff. We got a hook and ring. They've got, what is that? An animal curry comb, a horseshoe, sorry, animal bell, a hook, a log chain, and a bridle part. So then they got showing some of the troops getting a cannon ready.
That one looks mad.
He looks mad.
Yeah. So does that one.
That's because he's got to carry the heavy cannonballs. That's why.
He just looks so angry.
What's this guy? Is he making the commands? Is that what he's doing?
Frustrated.
So let's see. Officer cufflinks.
Looks like Mickey Mouse.
And they have uniform buttons, uniform hook and eyes, uniform neck stock clasps. Another fireplace. Here they have a spoon tune and a pipe. Tomahawk. They have a lock, a musket ball, musket bands. Broken musket barrel, musket buckshot and ball, trigger guard.
The Indians look like that.
Musket butt shot, folding knife, like a pocket knife, and a butt plate.
What?
It's like it's a folding knife.
You said something else.
And then here they have some hinge belts, well windlass rope guide, door latches, window sash weights, and forged spike nails. Of course, this is an axe head. It's a felling axe. They have metal buttons. They have clothing buckles, knee buckles, and a bullet mold. Oh. And then over here, what do they have? What is this? A surveyor's compass. Wow, that thing's big.
That's very big. I need to have to carry that around.
And then I like this.
War and peace.
They have the powder horn and leather pouch and arrows.
T-kai and we Sakai.
Alright, so that's going to do it for our adventure over here at Fort Recovery to look through the Fort Museum here at Fort Recovery. And I thought it was really interesting. I got to see a lot of neat stuff. What do you think, Haley?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has so many words. So, but thanks for coming with us. And remember, we hope to catch you on the next adventure. And adventure is out there. We'll see you later.